Righto, g'day everyone, welcome to the video. Today is the start of Project Hornet. Now I don't want this thing to go crazy fast, I don't want it to change every single component. I just want to take your standard old Hornet. This is a new one I built. I've done all hex hardware wherever I can, including the wheel nuts, just to give it that stealthy sort of look. But apart from that, and bearings, it is stock. And I just wanted to compare a few things. So first, we're going to give this a run as it is, pretty much out of the box. And then I'm going to talk about what I'm going to do to hopefully improve how it performs just a little bit. So let's get out and give it a run. Alright, so on smooth surfaces, the road and such, it doesn't go too bad. So when you get onto things like grass and high traction, the old design starts to show up some of its shortcomings. It's really hard to capture while I'm trying to avoid everything, but you can see and hear, especially on the grass, that the thing hops around, hence why they're called hoppers. I have to try and concentrate. Oh, there it goes. So that's what we're going to work on sorting out with this one. Okay, so what got me started about thinking about this was I was actually thinking about last year's speedrun car compared to this year's one, and how I tried to make last year's one as light as possible, which was the Hornet back then, and it was just terrible. It was flipping over all over the place. And the first thing you're going to do is chuck a bit of weight in it, and that got me thinking about how the car just drove then. Because what this car has in it now, I've got the scales here at 0, is a Hobbywing brand speed control that Tamiya uses now mostly, and a FlySky receiver. That's a whole 43 grams for them too. That's pretty much, apart from the battery, the motor and the servo, which they'll be the same compared to both setups. That's what that weighs. Now back in the day when this thing came out, you had a bigger, and probably bigger than this, receiver with a crystal and a long wire. You had a second servo to use the mechanical speed controller with the resistor on it. I left the case on this one because it'll represent the few extra screws and bits of plastic bits to hold it on. But then the big one back then, it's also to use a receiver pack. There was no battery eliminated circuit, not for a few years, or a bit after this car came out. And even then, it wasn't just something you could just go, oh yeah, I'll buy that and bolt it on. You had to change your whole radio, which were expensive back then. So that as well puts us up to 227. So take away, we'll zero that there. Put this stuff back on. 184 grams difference. And in a little light car like this, that's going to be a big difference. So I've got some weights here. I'll recenter that. We need 182 roughly, 180. So there, 3 strips of this just to get it somewhere close. So I'm going to go and fit these strips in the car Then we'll go give it another run on that grass surface and see how she goes. Okay, so I managed to get it all in there, and that wasn't easy. There's lead weights stuck on lead weights, but it's in there, and I can definitely feel the difference already just from that. So let's get the body back on and get back out to the grass and see how it handles now. Now straight away I'm noticing the steering has slightly changed, obviously due to the little bit lower stance of the car. That's not what I wanted to see. I'd say, well, it's not the huge improvement I was hoping for. It definitely does feel a little bit more planted in the rear. Here comes Henry to check out what's going on. Everything alright, pussy? Henry? Yeah, alright? Yeah, he's got control of everything. Alright, so for some reason the whole thing cut out then. I did notice when I first turned it on, it went on and then cut off and then went back on. Oh. Okay, so the wiring was actually pushing the on-off switch back, and the annoying dog next door has just not stopped barking. Alright, so that's the first step of this little thing. It wasn't as much of an improvement as what I would have liked, but it wasn't too bad. Next up, I've already done the cutting for it. I'm going to do the 5th shock mod. Put a rod in there, or a shock, to hopefully give this rear end a little bit of movement. So remember to subscribe if you want to see how it works once that's installed. And thanks for watching the video.